Thanks very much, Emily. Delighted to be here with you today. So my name is Michael Jacob. As Emily said, I'm the Drink Sector Manager for Board Bia, who are the Irish Food Board. So we're a semi-state agency based in Ireland, and we are tasked with promoting Irish food and drink products across the world. So that's a little profile of me and a lovely picture. So I've worked across a few different industries in Ireland. So I would have worked initially with the Irish seafood industry. I would have worked onto the prepared consumer foods, and then also slightly with the dairy industry as well before joining the drinks industry team a couple of years ago. So for today, I'm going to cover three brief areas. So firstly, we're going to look at the sustainability agenda acceleration. So, sorry, a bit of a tongue twister. Sustainability agenda acceleration. So we conducted a study in 2021 where we looked at sustainability across both customers and consumers, so your trade buyers and your consumers as well, to gauge how important sustainability is in their purchasing decisions. I'll then move on to Origin Green, which is our sustainability program for our client companies. It was the world's first national food and drink sustainability program, and we have over 90% of Irish exports now represented under this program. Finally, I'll have a quick look at client company action, so what our companies are doing in the areas of sustainability to meet the needs of their customers and consumers. So first off, it's clear, and I think everyone in the room will agree, that the sustainability agenda is accelerating. So we did this global study in 2021, and some of the key top-line findings we found was that everyone is looking for sustainability credentials, whether it's consumers or trade buyers. So 75% of consumers globally have made an effort to buy more sustainable, conscious food and drink in the last 12 months. And this is only going to continue and only going to grow further. If we look at the context of the research, just to lay it out for you, so we did over 60 in-depth interviews with global customers, as well as NGOs, thought leaders in the area, as well as some of our own in-house experts as well. Overall, we received responses from over 189 food and business companies across the world, so they would be buyers, retailers, marketing companies, and etc. And we also conducted 25 in-depth interviews with those for representatives from those companies. And then finally, we had over 11,000 responses to our consumer survey as well. So I think this really just highlights it was a robust research from ourselves, and our findings really can help us to shape our sustainability agenda in-house moving forward as well. So looking at consumers initially, so consumers do want to make more sustainable choices in food and drink. Over 61% of them said they would be it would become more important to buy more sustainably over the next 3 years. So this encapsulates food and drink products, not drink specifically, I'll move on to that again, but you can see that it's an industry-wide phenomenon that everyone is looking for more sustainable products, no matter what commodity they're buying in the food and drink industry. This is looking at specifically US and Poland, who for Ireland would be key export markets. The US represents over half of our exports in the context of Irish drinks. And then obviously Poland is an emerging market, so we thought it would be good to kind of compare and contrast the two. If we have a look at what the key issues were that were both appealing and worth paying for, quality assurance was one of the main points. So quality assurance, obviously, is slightly harder for us to prove rather than other industries, but knowing that our products are coming from sustainable sources, knowing that their quality can be guaranteed, is hugely important for consumers. Other issues would have been sustainable packaging would have been extremely important. Obviously, the use of glass and the use of plastics and various different things, such as gift sets and also other types of packaging. Water usage was also extremely important. Consumers are also looking for a very natural product, which again goes back to kind of the brand story and telling people about where your product's from, how it's distilled, and where it's going in the future as well. Looking at sustainability agenda for alcohol buyers, so a fantastic insight from this was over 51% of the people we spoke to say that sustainability is now an integral part of their business. So it's no longer a nice to have, it's no longer something we do for a CSR point of view, it's really an integral part of these companies' businesses, and these companies are looking for suppliers in the drinks industry. Obviously, and from kind of more of an internal look at the companies, they also said 63%, I believe it was, who wish they know that consumers are demanding this as well. So not only consumers, but customers are recognizing that this is happening in the market, and drinks companies need to be able to be focused and be able to tell their sustainability story in order to meet these growing needs. And another point there is that trade buyers actually feel like sustainability can help differentiate their company as well. So providing them with a sustainable product and providing them with a sustainable story and quality assurance around how your product is produced is extremely important. And these are the type of things you really need to consider when you're going into a meeting with a trade buyer. Even if they don't ask about it, they will expect you to be able to provide the information of what are you doing in sustainability, how are you being sustainable, and how can you build that again into the future. So when we ask trade buyers about what they're looking for in a drink supplier, obviously the top two are, as you would imagine, quality and price are obviously extremely important. But now a very strong third place would be sustainability, so that products are produced in a sustainable, environmentally friendly manner. Also, so that's now taken over the likes of food safety standards, transparent supply chain. It's really encapsulating all of those different factors you'll see below it into one kind of overarching topic, which is your sustainability credentials. And we would, with our client companies, we would be very strong, like we need to be able to communicate these when you're speaking to buyers and consumers. So looking again kind of at overarching findings, so 72% of buyers felt that there is an importance of having suppliers with strong sustainability credentials. And this is even higher in the EU market. And obviously we're in Berlin today, so I know a lot of you would be trading in the EU market. What's the gap and what's the opportunity? Well, for you guys, it's really only 4 in 10 of them claim that they currently have the majority of the suppliers that are meeting the sustainability need. So that's over half their portfolio they feel that can be more sustainable, can fit more into their sustainability agenda in-house, and your products can give them the opportunity to build their own sustainability agenda, and they will be looking for that when you're speaking to them about possibly supplying their customers. So what's Origin Green? So Origin Green was launched 10 years ago. It was the world's first national food and drink sustainability program, and it was launched by Board Bia on behalf of the industry in Ireland. So what Board Bia, or what Origin Green can really provide our client companies is third-party verified data. So we obviously get companies to sign up, but all of their sustainability plans, all their sustainability targets are independently verified, which is extremely important for trade customers to know that it's not just you sign up and you get it. It is all independently audited by Mabit, who are a world-leading organisation in this space. Obviously, all the sustainability data we get from companies, and I can see Darren there from Teeling would be very up to date in terms of how the plans are constructed. That data really helps us in terms of reporting, giving KPIs to companies, telling people how the industry is developing, and also telling client companies what the rest of the industry are doing in the sustainability space as well. So it's really about keeping our client companies up to date on the latest sustainability trends, and then also combine that with our trade research as well with buyers. We do provide best practice guidance as well, so in terms of developing your sustainability plan. So we get companies who are very well established, who have done multiple sustainability plans with us, and we also get new companies as well. So our learnings from the more established companies are vital for us in terms of educating and helping our newer client companies to develop their own sustainability plans. And finally, it provides us with market insight as well. So as I said, we had this massive research project, but we needed to make sure that what we were finding in that research project was also being met by the Irish industry. So it's really important for us to keep those insights from our client companies and then to match that with what is happening on a global space. So I suppose to kind of give you a breakdown of how it works. So what we're really trying to do is drive and monitor change at company level. So I won't go through all of this, but this essentially is what companies would have to do to sign up for Origin Green. So it is a multi-annual sustainability plan. They can have 4 to 8 sustainability targets, and that's depending on their company size. So a bigger company obviously would have more sustainability targets versus a new entrant into the market would have the minimum of 4. This progress is independently audited, as I said, by Mabit, and this happens on an ongoing basis annually. It's a multi-year strategy, but each year we benchmark it against how they've done that year. Most of the sustainability targets will fall into 3 main categories. So that's around raw material sourcing. So for drinks, that would be sourcing of grain, sourcing of liquid. Manufacturing, so your energy use, your water use. And then finally, social. So social will be around community initiatives, kind of how you're engaging with your surrounding community and how that's helping to drive the sustainability of the area. So to give you a good idea of how kind of our companies are meeting these needs. So this is from 2012 to 2019. We had 329 sustainability targets. So the main one for our Irish companies is community initiatives. So a lot of distilleries and breweries in Ireland are being set up in very rural parts of Ireland. So there's a lot of work that can be done with the community initiative side of things. And also in terms of the likes of Dublin city centre, there's a rebirth of whisky distilling in Dublin as well. So the community really needs to be on board as well. So a lot of our companies would focus their efforts on that to ensure that everyone is happy. One good example of that would be Still Garden. So their products are actually at our stand as well. So Still Garden have a community garden at the front of their distillery. So what they do is it's open for the public to go and to tend to crops and to grow botanicals, and they actually use those botanicals in their social gin, which you can taste at our stand as well. So it's all about bringing the community in together. Another really important point for us would be sourcing from suppliers with sustainability certificates. So again, that could be grain providers, it could be liquid providers, it could be glass providers, it could be anything like that. Is make sure that we have that sustainable sourcing in place with our client companies to help grow the sustainable supply chain for Irish products as well. Packaging is a key one, obviously use of glass, but also use of plastic. An awful lot of companies would use plastic in terms of their gifting sets and various different things. And we're seeing a shift from a number of different companies towards wooden use for gifting sets based on their origin green plans as well, which is really good to see. Energy, obviously the distilling industry in particular is very energy dependent, so it's important that we monitor how much energy we're using and reduce it where we can and ensure that we're doing our part in terms of the environment. And then waste, probably the last one I'll touch on. So waste, in terms of, in Ireland, we have lots of farms, thank God, so a lot of the spent grain can be given to farmers locally as well. So we make sure that that process is in place across all of our origin green verified companies. So the key takeaways, I suppose, for you guys is sustainability is growing in importance for both consumers and customers. So you really need to know how you're going to market and communicate your sustainability credentials. People are looking for it, consumers are looking for it, but trade buyers will expect it as well, based on our research. The top priorities for our alcohol clients would be around, or for consumers around alcohol products, would be quality assurance, low or no additive, naturally produced, product packaging. And really the opportunity for you guys is drinks companies there's a gap in the market. Not all companies are focusing on their sustainability credentials still. That's feedback coming from buyers in a global context. So you really have an opportunity gap. If you hone in your sustainability messaging, you make it very clear, you make it very strong, that will put you in good stead when you're speaking to both consumers and customers. So I'll leave it there and say thank you very much, and any questions and answers afterwards will be fine. Thanks.